Hey, Improvement Pill here. There's been a lot of focus on building good habits on the channel recently, so I thought it would only be appropriate to talk about 3 of the best morning routine habits that highly successful people have. These are also 3 of the habits that I implement just about every single day. The first habit that we're going to talk about may come as a surprise for the majority of you. For decades now, the ideal American breakfast consisted mainly of high carbohydrate foods like cereals, pancakes, and oatmeal, paired along with something like orange juice or milk. Now, the argument for this is that carbs provide you with energy, and having a lot of them for breakfast allows you to function properly throughout the day. Yes and no. See, studies have actually found that calorie-dense foods do in fact provide a spike in willpower. For those of you that don't know what willpower is, it's basically a finite resource that we have. Think of it as a battery that allows us to do things throughout the day. The lower your levels, the harder it is for us to do the things that we know we should be doing, like our homework or going to the gym, so it's very important. But what studies have found is that although foods that are high in carbohydrates increase your willpower, they only do so for a short period of time, and this is mainly because our body digests these foods rather quickly. So sure, if you stick to the standard American breakfast, you'll feel great for an hour or two, but soon after, your levels of willpower will drop dramatically and you will start feeling a bit lazy. And this isn't the only side effect. Things like anxiety and your mood are also connected with your current level of willpower. What you should be doing instead is eating a breakfast that is heavy in fat and protein. Fats and protein are calorie dense, but also take significantly longer for your body to break down. And because of this, they act as a continuous fuel source for your willpower throughout the day. And what I often find is that when I eat a breakfast that is heavy in fat and protein, like a steak or an omelet, I'm able to function much better throughout the day. I get more work done, I feel more focused, and I have less brain fog. On top of all of that, having high levels of willpower means that I'm able to stick to the habits that I'm trying to form, as well as avoiding the bad habits I'm trying to get rid of. The next habit that we're going to talk about is one that really makes a difference in how you feel for the rest of the day. Tony Robbins, who is arguably the most successful life coach in the world, plunges himself in cold water every single morning. Now, this is a guy who works almost 7 days a week and is able to give talks for up to 14 hours a day for 3 days in a row at the age of 57. And this is the first thing he does every single day. So there must be a reason behind this madness. Now, I've talked about taking cold showers in a previous video of mine and how it helps you get outside of your comfort zone. You guys can check that out in the description below, but this isn't the only benefit that comes from taking a cold shower. Subjecting your body to extremely cold temperatures has 2 benefits. Number 1, it drastically improves your mood. A study in 2007 conducted by a Nikolai Shkevich showed that taking cold showers release noradrenaline into your bloodstream. This hormone increases your heart rate, widens your pupils, and even widens the air passages in your lungs. Cold showers are also found to release beta endorphins into your bloodstream. This hormone is the strongest type of endorphin that our body naturally produces, which are responsible for making you feel good. Scientists have even suggested that beta endorphins are stronger than morphine. So not only do you feel extremely awake when you take cold showers, but you also feel amazing at the same time. Number 2 is that it's extremely easy to add another habit after it. There are certain habits that we have a hard time committing to, habits like reading or meditating. When you take a cold shower and your body is flooded with all of these feel-good hormones, it is extremely easy to follow it up with another habit. For example, I've always found it hard to meditate first thing in the morning. I'm just way too groggy. So what I started doing was scheduling my daily meditation immediately after taking a cold shower. Because right after a cold shower, I feel filled with energy, which allows me to tackle this task of meditation. On top of that, the easiest way to form habits is by doing them on a daily basis. So when you mentally attach the habit of meditation to something like taking a shower, which most of us do every single day, then it becomes significantly easier to stick to this habit. The third and final morning routine habit of successful people is to do creative work. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, well, Improvement Pill, I don't draw, I don't write, I don't really do much in the creative field. How does this apply to me? Well, I personally think that there's really only 2 types of work. The first type is what I like to call hard work. It's work that doesn't really require much thinking to do, but usually takes a while to complete and has to be done in a certain way. Most 9-to-5s are like this. Maybe you're entering data into a spreadsheet, maybe you're doing customer service, maybe you're flipping burgers at a fast food place. Whatever it is, you're not really thinking too much about what you're doing. It's almost automatic. automatic. The other type of work is what I consider to be creative work. It's work where there aren't really strict rules to follow. So you're left with a general direction to go in, but how you do it is really up to you. For example, I'm sure many of you are still in school and at one point or another you had to write an essay. When you write an essay, you're given a topic, but the rest of the essay, how you present your idea, is totally up to you. Or let's say you're an entrepreneur. Your goal is to increase your monthly income and build up your business, and there's endless ways to do this. Your creative work is to come up with different ways and adjust your current strategies to make this happen. Or you could be someone who is trying to improve themselves, which I hope you all are. In this case, the hard work would be things like hitting the gym or taking those cold showers. But the creative work would be reading or watching videos about all of this stuff and thinking about how you're going to structure your life so that you see improvement. So it's without a doubt that most of us do some sort of creative work. But why is it important to do this in the morning? Well, it really comes down to willpower. As we mentioned before, willpower is sort of like a battery, and it's responsible for a lot of mentally straining actions throughout the day. Studies have actually found that creative tasks require willpower. So if you're someone that wants to start up a business, but you only want to work on it after a long days of work, good luck, because your willpower is going to be at its all-time low. It's going to be much harder for you to do your creative work at night than if you did it in the morning. And that's why extremely successful writers like Stephen King, Mark Twain, Franz Kafka write in the morning. On an average day, King says that he writes from 8 a.m., basically right after he wakes up, until about 12 noon. He does this because his willpower is at the highest in the morning. See, you want to do your creative work when your willpower is at its highest because you'll be able to do it faster and oftentimes your results are better. So to sum it all up, you want to eat a breakfast that is heavy in fat and protein so that you're fueled properly for the rest of the day. You want to take a cold shower so you feel awake and ready to tackle the world. And finally, you want to do creative work because your willpower is at its highest in the morning.